Consciously go home. 2 minutes, 1 minute.
Yes.
We have to break this spell, no, of the drama and drama based thinking. Okay, so why we had been saying it is useful to know how we get trapped in the drama and to reverse that process also. Baba says these things all the time, but we have to make it real and detailed, clear, and practice. So let's go to the board. It might help. So, can you see the board? No, you can't.
We can't. Huh?
Okay, so sometimes it helps not to uh, use images to explain to ourselves, to others. You can see the board, no? Yeah. Okay, so in essence, what Baba says is we eternally belong to this home. How would you describe the home? Peaceful? Is your home too? But why is it supreme? You're in the most elevated state of being. There's no mixture. There's no Ravan there. Not no Maya there. Zero vice. Zero ignorance. The question was, how do you describe home? All the things that are being said is good. But if this is our home and we are going to go back there again when the drama is finished, and you're supposed to remember your home and to experience the home at this moment in time, you should be knowing what is home like, at least theoretically. Because through theory, we can begin to make it experience. Can you describe your home? Peaceful and safe, secure. It is imperishable also. Tsunami or some, your apartment can be flooded and some storm wind. This home, nothing can change. It is home because it is family. What else? How will you describe your home? They all are just points of light, beautiful stars, like stars hanging in the night sky. Beautiful living stars. But the presence is divine. It is like somebody, you're sitting with your back, somebody is there. You can't see them, but they are there. And you can feel their presence. The presence is divine. Divine meaning selfless, benevolent, pure, loving presence. Yeah, intellect and mind are not used to experiencing that. So it's so gross at the moment. We need to emerge that, train that. So all our godlike presences, I don't know if you can say like that. And Baba is there. Hmm? So Baba and family of living lights. Because it's not an inert kind of point, it is a living being, not it even. We are. You see, even our language makes it it. Soul is not it. Soul is someone, but without body. Okay, and then we come into this physical world. If we see the physical world is this, everything is in there, the sun, the moon, the stars, the trees, the bodies, past, present, and future, everything is in there. And we come here to explain with words, grasp the understanding. Even like I was saying, if you're with your back to someone, you can't see their physical form, but you feel that presence. And
Yes.
that presence is like a light. It's not just seeing a light, it is a being that is existing. So we come and visit this physical world. We come and what? To act in this physical world. And you get a script. You get a script of 84 birds. You. Others might have 80, others might have 20, others might. Each one gets a script. And in that script, there are different, how you call it, costumes, and different personalities also. And this is something that is useful to deeply understand. The what is it? The human personality is part of the script. It is part of the act being acted out. And so Rona has what? Rona has certain habits, Rona has certain tendencies. That is part of the script. The eternal uh, sanskars, the eternal personality is this. And to separate that. So, but what happens when we come into this physical world? Yeah, but in mind, in our experiences, we come from that home of silence, of light, of benevolence, of not even benevolence, not the right word, bliss and love and secure. From that state, you come into this world of matter. All of a sudden, you hear sound. All of a sudden, you can see things. All of a sudden, there is fingers and teeth and nose and hair and birds and ants and bricks and furniture and trees and beautiful bodies. To what happens inside? Yeah,
You're amazed?
yeah, very good. Amazement, amazement. Wow. Initially, desire, you're full. It's just extra. Initially, that is the essence of the peace. There is just, wow, everything is beautiful. Everything is one this game. Look at this wonder. There is playfulness, enjoyment. There is virtuousness. Oh, how nice. Okay, when we come from the home is nice. Like this is very important to understand because otherwise our yoga can never be accurate. Say there is a player, what is it, a baseball player or a cricket player? It is in his blood to play. It is in his genes, it is his nature to play. He loves home. In his home, he has this big bat and a beautiful living room and huge television screen and kitchen and wife and family and children, and they all love him and praise him and serve him and give him. Home is very nice. He feels happy. But no, I'm giving an analogy. This is a baseball player. It is in his nature to play. Hmm? So he is at home and he has everything. In his Lokek home, he has everything, everything, everything there. And it is comfortable and it is pleasant. Everybody loves him. Everybody serves him. But, but there is a game going on out. So he will want to go out and play, no matter how comfortable it is at home. At home, there is no game to play. So at home is nice and you're resting and everything, but at some stage that nature to play also emerges, and so he will go and play. And initially he's happy, he has energy, he wins, and he throws the ball, he hits balls, he runs, whatever. And after a while, what happened?
He gets tired.
He gets tired, yeah. And somebody may hit him with the bat. He may fall. Somebody, I don't know what how you call this, jab, uh, make him fall, whatever. So he gets hurt. So
Right.
after a while, he gets tired. So what he will want to do?
Go
Come
home.
home.
He
Go
want to come
home.
back home. And there he rests, he heals, he feels good. After a while, 3 days, what will happen again? He want to go and play again. Understand?
So
It is a limited example, but the nature of the human soul, not only human soul, even Baba comes to play part. So it is innate in the soul to play. But when we have played for a long time and we have gotten hurt and we have gotten defeated and all kinds of things happen in the game, and then we forget that it is a game and all kinds of things, then we start longing to go back home. We'll see. Is it good now? Is it good now? Okay, so it starts with, oh, this is wonderful. Oh, this is nice. That attitude of game, it is wonderful, beautiful game. It is nice, nice. Then what is the next? Very nice. I like it. Like that. From the beginning. It takes 2,500 years for us to shift completely into body consciousness. But we do hold this. Baba holds it. And he doesn't come in a body of his own. He borrows the body, but he is exposed to the physical world and he's exposed to the objects and the things. But he holds this. He doesn't get into this. Oh, this, well, this is me. This is this. You don't to cross this line from. This is like the how you call this. You could call this the spiral
Boundary, he doesn't cross it.
accommodation of the spirit desires. That is what happens in consciousness. But it doesn't happen go. It happens slowly, slowly over time. And because we are not exposed to home, we are not exposed to Baba, we are not reminded of this. Mind gets more and more immersed here over time. And the moment, this is the story of the there is there. Initially, Sita doesn't notice. And then she noticed and said, wow, what is this? Some.
Volunteer.
And then I want it. More she wants it, that is the moment Ravan wins. That is the trap. And then there's a whole long, long story of how to get it and whatever. And once she then kidnapped, forget it. Yeah, Ram knew, but nobody else knew. Sita didn't know. No? And so this is what happens with the soul, gradually, gradually, gradually. And it is beautiful also initially. Nature is at its best. Drama is at its best. Body is at its best. Relation, everything is highest of high. So it is a wonder and it is paradise. But over time, we get familiarized with it and say, this is very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice. And then the mind gets trapped. And this is with every sanskar. And so, this, how to call it, this potential to go into this spiral, every soul has that. Only Mama doesn't have that. Yeah, no, thank goodness, because otherwise it would be lost forever. You know, there is one who has to hold to that state. One who has to hold that, like, if at home everybody goes to play, then the children that they have to come home. Somebody has to remind children that they have home even. And so, how do we go back up? Because that is now at the end of the play. We are so immersed in the play, we don't even know about this anymore. We don't even know about ourselves anymore. Everything, this has become our world now. And our joy and our pleasures and our success and our sense of value and importance and relationship and love, everything we define now based on here. And the karmic accounts are increasing, so nothing in this drama continues to support that. Now, initially, people can still be happy for this or that reason, or we can be happy because relationship is good, because wealth is good. But karmic accounts become such that nothing works anymore at some stage. Mm. Well, but there are still people who can take pleasure from food or pleasure from this or pleasure from a good movie or pleasure from some money. Kali Yugi paradise, they still have some pleasures. It is limited and temporary, but it's all they know. And so they go more and more after it. Yes. Tells us, look, this is a temporary and changing world and it will finish. The stage will be dismantled. And it is already in process. This will become uninhabitable. But it is part of the script. No, this is not your world. This is your eternal world. This is not you. And so the detachment, the disinterest from this, and the experiences of the bliss of the, what is it? The seed stage, the incorporeal stage, the avyakt stage, that joy, that makes the spiral go upward again. You're not in this I want anymore. There's nothing here to want. And more we understand that through Gyan, better off we are. And if you're not understanding it through Gyan, then more things here will fall apart. You will just realize there's nothing here. But the Brahmin soul has the privilege and the fortune to go through that drama, knowing it is a drama. Even destruction is nothing to be about. It is part of the script. But your peace and your love and your bliss and your contentment doesn't come from here. What is this? Traffic control? Om Shanti. And just two more things. Uh, Sanskars. It is not that we have a bag of millions of sanskars and we carry that with us all throughout the cycle. It is, you know, the sign of yin and yang. How to do it? Like this, more or less, no? A seat and a seat. So, if this is, what is it? If this is soul consciousness, bigger the soul consciousness is, smaller the body conscious. Understand? And bigger the body conscious, smaller the soul consciousness in the soul. Anyway, this is just, if you can't grasp it, forget about it. But in the soul, there is the seat of body consciousness. All souls have that. Only Baba doesn't have. And there is the seat of soul consciousness. It is there. And so, from that seat of soul consciousness, or tree of soul conscious sanskars, emerge at the right time, in the right place, at the right moment, what is required. You understand? So, for example, soul consciousness in the workplace. Some soul conscious habits and tendencies in the workplace. That's sanskar. You're having the ability to be very cooperative with colleagues, seeing their virtues, being tolerant with them. That sanskar you have, always light at work. You don't need that sanskar in the golden age. In the sanskar, there is the natural harmony. You don't need the sanskar to tolerate. You don't need the sanskar to adjust, for example. At that moment, that is not required. So that sanskar the potential is there, but it is not active. It is not activated at that moment. Understand? Am I making? So that sanskar is merged in the beginning of the golden age. There are other natural sanskars flowing. And so it is not that in the golden age we carry the whole tree of body conscious sanskars with us. And we just have to suppress it, suppress it, suppress it. Jealousy doesn't exist in the golden age. It is not there. Just the potential to I start to identify with a body or with an object or with a position or with a possession, that potential is there. But it just gets activated and grows after. Well, in the silver age, little bit starts, but in the copper age, it takes over. And it's not that you necessarily in the copper age already are jealous, also. Might be much later that that emerges. I'm not sure if I'm able to express what I'm.
Yes, sister. Very well.
Yeah. So the potential to go into that. So, for example, violence. Violence is some tendency at the of extreme body consciousness. So it is not that you have the violent sanskar with you in the silver age, but the potential to go into that, that is in the soul. But it doesn't sprout there, it doesn't grow there. It over time. Baba says, no, even the vices, he said it of lust and anger, they have their sato, rajo, tamo. So the whole area of lust, for example, it starts with identifying with gender, I'm male or female. And then the feeling of, oh, this is nice, male. This is nice, female. It starts gently, gently taking pleasure from that male role or that male, a female role. And then it is a couple. Oh, this is nice to be couple, but it grows over time, it's not immediately. And then it is a touch. And then it becomes more touching. And then it becomes patting. And then it becomes a kiss on the forehead. And then it goes. So it is not
Right.
that it is immediately all out blown lust. It grows over time. And this is why we should not feed our body conscious sanskars. This is why when Baba comes, he gives us maryadas, and maryadas stop the growth of these gross sanskars. But it doesn't mean that it has gone back into its seed yet. It has to, how to say, over a long period of time, it has to, what is it? Um, not acted on, not acted on. And over a long period of time, your joy and your bliss and your happiness should come from the incorporeal and not from bodily sensations. It becomes, it withers. Withers is a good word, or it shrinks again. These are gross examples, but like vegetarian food, those who are, of us who were non-veg, there may have been a time that you thought that food means meat. Everything else is just decoration of the plate. No, and you're laughing because maybe you don't have that experience in the context of food, but that is Rona's Lokik family was like that. You know, food is everything, and food means meat. Everything else is nice and tasty, but that is not food, that is decoration. So there may be a time when you think and you feel and you behave and you live like that. Then somebody talks about vegetarianism and you think, wow, what are they talking about? How is that possible? I used to think, we had some uncle, some friend of the family. He was vegetarian, and I used to feel sorry for him. I used to think, huh? He did, it just didn't fit in the scheme of life at that age that I was. But over time, we went to India, and I saw the whole nation just lives vegetarian. I thought, huh? You're kind of like a big shock. And then you also start to eat and you feel this is good food, nothing wrong with it. And then you gradually, that sanskar, what was so dominant, becomes less
Right.
and less dominant. And you choose to experiment. And Baba says, don't eat, so you stop the whole thing. And after a while, you don't think of meat anymore as food. So even if they're cooking out there or the smell is there or whatever, to me it is not me, it is not food anymore. So that sanskar is not active anymore. The sanskar has shrunk. You understand? And this is not a process that happens overnight. But even the aversion is still a phase. There comes a time when you even are beyond aversion. Of course, aversion in the sense of the perversions of the drama in general, but not that specific thing only. The whole, this is the Iron context. And it is not something that and then it cannot be activated just like that anymore either. Whilst if the sanskar is still active, then it can be activated. You just need to smell or somebody giving you, or you're not having other food. Yeah.
Yeah, like most people I used to move eggs. I didn't even think of it of having a distinct smell. And if it gets within inches of me, I smell it immediately, and it's nauseous. It's amazing how that happened. Yeah.
Now, this process should happen for all the vices. So this is why it is not like going to your auntie's home kind of thing. And this is why we have to be serious with these things. Because even you conquered something today, say you did not do a certain thing, doesn't mean tomorrow is a sanskar now. Because Ravan's still there, not gone yet. And the whole celibacy and pure sattvic food, there are levels of all of that purity. Just because today I'm celibate doesn't mean there's no lust anymore. And that sanskars can be triggered if we are not, or at least fed, if we are not careful. No, Baba says don't look, at bodies, don't look with that eye of impurity. And this is why television is such a harmful thing, because Hollywood and Bollywood just the whole entertainment industry is geared at feeding Raven's pleasures subtly in a very romanticized way. Those sanskars are still being fed. And then it gets a very different, deep meaning. Baba becomes your world. Your mind is for Baba and for Baba, and you only come in there for Baba's task, not for anything else. You get a feel of so because if we think we can sanskars all the time, it's just a question of merging and it is not like that. These sanskars have to grow. And you can see sometimes certain areas you have that. For example, with cigarettes. Even if I try, cannot get into the habit of liking it. There was a time during teenage years I tried because it was the hip thing to do and everybody. I tried so hard to like it. I just couldn't. It is as if that is not, it is not in there. But that may be different for others. Everyone has its own kind of what is it, the blueprint. But to get rid of Ravan sanskars is not just because I wake up in the morning and I sit in Murli, and to not feed these sanskars. It is not harmless to get irritated. It means Ravan got his food. And today you are irritated, tomorrow you smash some things. But to come to the stage where you cannot be irritated anymore by whatever happens here, because you're so immersed in the bliss of the beyond. And this is a story being acted out. What is there to get angry about?
Sister Ona, one question in context with your sanskars, what you were just sharing. So, is it right to say that the sanskar of smoking, actually that seed was burned in the journey of the soul who is playing the role of Rona, and the sanskar of eating non-veg now is kind of really became small or completely dormant right now?
Yeah, I think so. Well, maybe there are seeds that never grow in any individual. So, like for example, sannyasis. Sometimes it appears, no, that they don't have that. Certain sannyasis. I'm not saying the real genuine ones. They don't have that seed to get into family life. Even from young age, they run away already. You know, that kind of, as if that seed even is not there. That part of the seat of body consciousness. So I think everyone was has his own individual panorama of how the part can emerge. It's not that every soul has the same, every soul is unique in that. So some areas might have never been there. But to whatever is there now, to know that the end of the Iron Age personality is purely the creation of Ravan's seed being emerged. And if Rona can be nice, it is because some pleasure, something is fulfilled. That is why she is nice. I mean, and Iron Age personality. Brahmin, we are in the transition. But still, I feel for myself, this one is still very much. I can cover it up with some nice, sweet words and a smile, but this one can still be very active. Not the gross ones, like, the gross forms, but the subtle forms are still there. They are not there just because drama is nice enough. But if drama becomes less nice, then we'll see what comes out. Somebody insulting Rona, somebody criticizing Rona, somebody making Rona look down, then we will see if I'm still really, truly detached and loving. One moment, Achal wanted to say.
No, I had a small question as well. So when we talk about sanskars, right? So what would be examples of deity sanskars, like in the gold and silver age? And how do we differentiate between the virtues and the sanskars? So can bliss be called sanskar or is bliss? Because I thought bliss is virtue, right? Bliss is a state of being. So what is really the deity sanskar then?
I think this also, for myself, definitely the details still need to be churned more and explored and experienced more. But one definite experience with the deity state is there is absolute sense of security, which is opposite of the Iron Age state, where everything and everything is threat. For the deity, is it? So it is a game. So that attitude of playful innocence with all the virtues, the virtuousness of that is the deity state. So even the acting out of the role with such confidence and such love and beauty. But the details of that I myself am still not very. But also, in my efforts, I don't focus on those details. I focus on getting back to this seat. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, these sanskars of tolerance, adjusting, and being cooperative, these are like we have those terms, right? Like, okay, and we are classifying them as iron aged sanskars. So yeah, that was the thought. So that's why, like, is there a, those in the same way, what could be?
Yeah. There is natural virtuousness, but in the Iron Age, virtuousness is for the Brahmin soul. All those things, they are more like power, because we have to overcome that resistance of body consciousness. So in the Brahmin phase, we are more practicing it and taking the power to be tolerant. Was in the golden age.
Would it be right to say that, let's say, when we are in the golden and silver ages, so the faculty of sanskar itself is a blank slate?
Sister Ona, may I jump in?
No. What do you mean with a blank slate?
Because if it's in the end just about the virtues and powers, which is in the intellect, so, and we are in that state of being, so really there is just enjoyment. There is no
Yeah, in that sense.
sanskar as such.
In that sense, you could say like that. Yeah. It is just the physical manifestation of the experience, the state of here that get physically manifested in the golden age. In that sense, yes. So it's the original, the eternal sanskar just manifest naturally in the soul, in the golden age, at a physical level. I hope, but the point I'm trying to make is that it is not like a static whole bunch, a bucket full of things that we carry around the cycle with us. It get completely merged, and at a certain moment in time, certain tendencies are not there. The potential for them to emerge is there, but they are not there at that moment. And it is not even difficult to understand that. So, say, for example, one lifetime you're in a female body. There are different tendencies then at work. And in another time in a male body, another time in a different religion, in a different culture. So different tendencies may emerge over time. So it is not like it is a rigid whole bucket full of a few million sanskars that you carry with you all the time. No, they go back to their origin. And now we have to bring the whole body conscious tree back to its, this point state.
I was just thinking about how Baba says that the things that are new in the golden age is as if, like, yes, we go through the amazement and then it's very nice, and then I think maybe even take it for granted, and then it becomes old, and then it becomes false. It seems like, yeah.
But this is good to churn. Just to know it takes 84 births to come
Yeah.
to that
Yeah.
complete. It is not in one lifetime, that's it. No, we stay with that innocent playfulness for almost at least 1250 years. And then in the Silver Age, the shift goes into more courage and more exploring and curious and expansion.
I think it would be boring if it was perfect all the time anyway.
Mm, mm. Yeah, that is when the deity society grows, no? Not exploring like Columbus, not like that.
I always think that it's never boring when you are in a in virtuous state. It's actually the most blissful and in the enjoyable time. It's never boring. Who
She
gets bored with happiness or peace?
It's also good to understand what she's trying to say. No, the purpose of game is that there is variety. The purpose of a play and the purpose of entertainment is that there is variety. It's not that deities sit around getting bored, but the soul is made for both the experience of home and the experience of game.
I
And
understand, Sister Rona, but what I was trying to say is maybe the way to look at it is that it's not we are looking for variety. Variety comes as a part of the drama because we are coming down.
yeah. But it also resonates with our innate nature to have variety of experiences.
I think the innate nature is to adapt to the change, and we keep adapting, and we deviate from our natural nature. That's how I understand it.
All variety is bad.
That's not what I said. I said we have a nature to adopt. We keep adopting as we come down and change happens. We kind of move along with the change rather than keep going back to our original virtuous state.
That we coming down.
Yeah.
So everything will be down and not up.
Yeah. But now we're going up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we're going up. Yeah. But it helps to understand how we came down to know what the way back up is and to not underestimate these things. And Baba mentioned in today's Murli, the carelessness. What did he say? Carelessness. Yeah, don't waste your time. But because we don't take this seriously. Very often we think, oh, it is not innocent. Every thought, every word we speak, every, you know, how do you call it? Every drishti, every moment, it is not innocent. It is not neutral at this moment in time. It either feeds soul consciousness or it feeds body consciousness. And Baba sometimes tells us, no, there's burden of 63 births of these Ravan's activity has been going on to get that back into the box in one lifetime. It can happen, but we need to be diligent about it. We are far over time. Where is my?
I'm just saying that, this realization, I mean, it's always there, right? That, as you said, it's either feeding body consciousness or it's feeding soul consciousness. And in the essence of it, it is really binary. There is no gray area
Yeah.
in that. That's one thing. And I mean, at least the way I try to practicalize that aspect is when I do my chart, I never deal with numbers.
Yeah.
I always have a tick or a cross. Keep
Yeah.
it binary.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, whatever helps us use it in the right direction, Baba has that attitude, whatever little, if you're in even a stone, you will throw it at the enemy. It won't make much difference, but at least you are positioning yourself on the right side. Little bit. But I mean, yeah, so, but I mean, in the bigger scheme of things, it is not just one stone throw and it is finished. We have to understand any stone is good if it is in the right direction. But no, not necessarily. It is not a question of speed. Because it is a question of accuracy. Accuracy. Yeah. It is.
Sister Rona, just want to share one. I know we are over time. Just one experience from India trip. I drove from Delhi to Mount Abu, and on the highways, right, there are carrier goods, the trucks which carry the goods. In India, all of them, they have some slogan written at the back, right? Most of them had slogan which is read in Hindi as soch kar socho, which means think before you think.
Mm.
And I was thinking, this is what Baba says. How do they know it? Or then the next thought was, maybe it is for me. I'm constantly being reminded when I'm going to Baba's home that you think before you think. So maybe there is a shift in general all around how, like Baba says, drama is shifting. So that was also another thought because most of the trucks have the same saying.
Mm. Whatever, people don't know, no, but it just sounds poetically nice or something, and they use these things, but not necessarily they understand. But one thing is for us, we have the privilege of understanding to some extent these things deeper. But understanding is not enough. It has to become, we have to become so conscious. We know about soul, and we know we should be soul conscious, but we have to be so conscious and to take every little step serious. It is a big thing we are doing. But just wanted to, because sometimes it's made out as if, oh, this sanskar, I have to get rid of it, that sanskar. As a whole tree, you have to get rid of. Okay? So let's close with some accurate, focused soul awareness.